Hey, Dave.
Hey, Nick.
Can I get some of that sweet rye you have in your hand there, please?
What? This bottle here?
Yeah.
No. Because it's my Sonoma.
Okay. And you say I don't share.
You don't?
Well, in episode 108, hopefully, we'll both be tasting the Cherrywood Rye Whiskey from the Sonoma Distilling Company of California.
And why not visit our social media accounts as well? We're at Whiskey and Things Podcast on Instagram and at Whiskey and Things on Facebook and at their Twitter.
And why not rate, review, subscribe on all your podcast platforms and, all the other business. Try and get us up some rankings. That's called foreshadowing, everyone. Yeah.
What does he mean? What could he possibly mean?
What could I mean? Stay tuned now.
You're listening to Whiskey and Things with Nick Kent and Dave Giles.
Welcome to episode 108. I'm Dave Giles.
And I'm Nick Kent. Welcome, everyone.
Mate, busy weekend.
It's been a busy weekend. I'm tired.
Busy weekend. I'm very tired. But anyway, we went to a distillery last week, which is exciting. We got together and we went to a distillery, didn't we?
We did. I came down to London, spent a few days in Dave's flat, which was lovely. He gave up his
him
bed
a bed
for me.
and everything. Yeah, exactly.
No, there
exactly.
you go.
They say chivalry's dead.
Yeah. It's a nice, comfy bed you got. Comfy bed.
I know.
It's like a massive marshmallow. Marshmallow. But yeah,
yes.
We had a wicked time. Went to the distillery, and that was short and sweet and wonderful. So we had the rest of the day to do other things.
The distillery we're going to do an episode on in a few weeks. We did an interview there, so that will come out in a few weeks. But so we're going to talk about some other things today. But as Nick said, we had the rest of the day after the distillery trip to go and explore. So we had some Italian food.
We did,
and we went to some guitar shops down Denmark Street, like the old days.
Just like the old days.
Just like the old days.
The ones that left down Denmark Street.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, with a good
like
little reminisce there. It's looking very different down at Denmark Street, everyone. If you're not familiar, Denmark Street is where all the guitar shops were, and some still are. But, that's modernisation for you.
Nothing sacred, mate.
No, it's not. But we went to a whiskey bar as well, because we were in Soho. We dropped by Milroy's in Soho.
I've never been before.
Enough. The legendary whiskey bar. Yeah, it's great. It's great. We had a couple of whiskies in there, didn't we? We sat at the bar and chatted with the barman.
Delightful.
Yes.
Do you want to know what I was impressed by so many things about this place. You'd been there before. Have I just said that? I can't even remember. But I'd never been there. And so this was a new experience. Number one, couldn't believe how many independent bottlers there were behind the bar.
Yeah.
Including our friends, which was great. Good to see.
Yes, lots of familiar names in there.
Number two, they had, we saw these taps and Nick was like, what's in that? And it had whiskey on the front. And we were like, what? Surely not whiskey on tap. So we asked the barman and he said, oh no, it's a highball. Whiskey and soda on tap.
Yeah.
Genius. Game changer.
3 options. Yeah.
It was amazing.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Neither did I. I've never seen it else anywhere. I don't know if anyone else has ever seen this. Please let me know, because I think it's a game changer.
We didn't get one.
We didn't get one.
Changer.
We didn't get one.
Why didn't we do it? Why didn't we get one?
I don't know. Well, we were trying some of the...
Yeah, we had a couple of whiskies each. We thought that's great, but then didn't do it.
Yeah.
Why didn't we?
I don't know. Anyway, the barman was like 18 years old and knew more about whiskey than both of us combined. It was quite something, wasn't it?
And the rest. Yeah, and the rest. He was very knowledgeable. I didn't catch his name. But
if you're inside, I've been told there's one in Spitalfields as well. I don't know if there are others, but
I think it's just 2.
Milroy's.
I think it's just 2. Yes, we'll hopefully
check them out.
An episode on them one day, because I've learned about them in the past, but I've forgotten about it because it's been a while since I've refreshed my memory on Milroy's. But they've been around forever. Forever.
Anyway, talking of whiskey bars, you got a bar behind you.
Yeah, I do.
And I want to drink some whiskey. So
okay.
Let's get going.
What would you like, Dave? I respect wood.
Right. This week's whiskey.
Cherrywood Rye Whiskey. That's a good pop. Oh, yeah. From the Sonoma Distilling Company in California. As we said, on Thursday, we were lucky enough to go to the East London Liquor Company. We didn't say we went to the East London Liquor Company, but that's where we went. And we had a chat with their founder, Alex Walpert, and tasted a couple of their whiskies. And as we also said, that episode will be out soon because we had some information in it we weren't allowed to talk about yet. So lucky you, everyone. But something they've done recently is a collaboration with the Sonoma Distilling Company in California, where they've done a blend of their whiskies, which sounds really, really cool. You'll hear all about that in the upcoming episode. But they also import Sonoma whiskies for their bar and shop. So Dave bought the Cherrywood Rye Whiskey. And here we are. So we thought, let's do a nice new one that you can actually buy for a change. Exciting.
Are we
whiskey.
sure about that? Because it says, we know we can get it in that shop, but you still can get it other places. Because it says Distiller's Edition on the bottle. So I'm not sure if it's a distillery only version.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't have the bottle, so let's talk about that.
Well, I don't know. But yeah, I before we crack
Is
on
all my
with
research just gone out the window?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not. I'll quickly have a look on the shop. Is it on there? There is a version on the shop.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure if it's the Distiller's.
No,
it's the same one. It's the same one.
Same one.
Ignore me.
Oh.
I was just confused because it said Distiller's Edition
with your extra information.
Yeah. Exactly. What I will say that I found really interesting is this collaboration blend. Now, obviously, a blend of whiskey is whiskey from two distilleries, right? Or two or more distilleries, perhaps, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So,
or even one distillery, it's a blend as well, usually. But yeah, you'd call it a blend if it was from two or more distilleries. Yeah.
There's nothing new there, but I like the fact that these two different distilleries, two small distilleries, have put their name on a bottle together and said, here's a collaboration. It's something I'd not seen before, and I thought it was really innovative. And I kind of hope that other smaller distillers do something similar. I mean, could you imagine Nickneen Bimber collaboration, for example? Do you know what I mean? Like having these smaller distillers that are new, trying to get the name out there, perhaps share with an audience. We're saying, hey, if you like us, you might like these guys. Because the whiskey industry seems fairly friendly and seems kind of open. So I'd love to see more of this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was the East London Liquor Company bottle with the Sonoma logo on there. It's, the collaboration and stuff. It's just really nice to see. Really nice to see.
Absolutely. So Nick, you've done some research. So tell me more about this whiskey that I've got sitting in front of me.
Well, Sonoma has been named after the county they're in, Sonoma County, California, which is just north of San Francisco and just west of Sacramento.
State capital.
Is it?
Yeah.
Sacramento is the state capital of California.
Yeah.
Oh, I was unaware of that. It was a bit of a dump when I went there, but in the late 2000s. I'm sure it's lovely now, everyone. The distillery is located on the outskirts of Santa Rosa in a town called Reinert Park. They were founded in 2010 by San Francisco native Adam Spiegel, and they began as one of the first 200 distilleries in America and the very first in Sonoma wine country. Oh, wine country. Yes. Yes. They focus on handcrafted grain-to-glass small batch production using old-school methods. They double distill in pot stills like Scotch whiskey, all that kind of thing. And it's steeped in traditional values, apparently, but fueled by the evolved needs of the modern palate. Dave?
So the reason I bought this one, they had a couple of different Sonoma bottles at the East London Liquor Company shop. And the reason I bought this one was because I asked Alex at East London Liquor Company which one he recommended. And he said, without a doubt, he said this one, didn't he? He was like adamant, this one. Yeah. I'm hoping it wasn't just a sales pitch. I mean, he knew I was going to buy a bottle. I'm hoping this isn't the one that he's got most of, so he wanted to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But we'd just spent an hour with him, and I don't think that was the case. But yeah, so I'm really excited about this. It's got a few things that we've not done before in it, a few different techniques. We've not done a California whiskey, so interesting, right?
Yeah. Let's talk mash bill. Let's talk mash bill, everyone. Please don't turn off.
Everybody knows that Nicky loves mash bills.
Just had a sniff. Right, mash bill. Well, let's start from the top. Strength 47.8 ABV. Mash bill 80% rye, origin California. 10% wheat.
It says origin California and Canada on the rye on the bottle, by the way.
Oh, there we go. on the website, it just says origin California.
This may be an earlier batch.
Maybe it's an earlier batch because it is all small batch, this stuff.
Yeah, so absolutely.
It could be a bit different. So yeah, that 10% wheat there, and also 10% Cherrywood smoked malted barley from Wyoming as well. If people don't know, here's a lovely bit of information people might not know. Cherrywood is a hardwood obtained from the cherry tree, valued for use in furniture and other woodworking applications. While cherry, Dave, this might surprise you, is a small fruit, usually red, black or yellow, with a smooth, hard seed and a short, hard stem.
Great. I'm really glad you did your research.
You're welcome. We don't know.
How long did it take you to get that bit out?
Mate, it's got to get the right information.
Absolutely. God forbid we tell people it's a different kind of cherry. Anyway, this does smell good. It's definitely got a woody vibe to it, isn't it?
Oh, I just had I had a bit of cherry on the nose then.
But you shouldn't do.
No, it's something there. It was like a cherry yogurt.
That's really interesting because they haven't used cherries. So.
No, but it doesn't matter. That's what there was like a little fruity cherry thing on the in my nose there.
I wonder whether that's because you've just been talking about cherries, though.
Maybe.
Do you know what I mean? I wonder whether it's one of those taste conditions when you start talking about something.
Look, I smelt it all right. Don't argue with me.
Well, it does say, in fairness, on the bottle, it says, tastes like branded cherries, new leather, toasted almonds, and dried figs. I'm getting a kind of a vanilla essence on the nose, Nick, after a while.
Yeah. I'm getting a furniture polish vibe. The nice one.
Sweet wood.
Maybe the furniture polish vibe is kind of linked for me with new leather, maybe. Because, you got a lot of furniture which is polished and it has leather on it a lot of the time. So maybe they are linked, those scents for me.
Quite possibly. Yeah, I'm definitely getting that leathery thing. Like a leather jacket that I used to have reminded me of this, or a suede jacket I had as a kid.
Yeah.
It's got that kind of vibe to it, which is interesting on the nose. Certainly interesting.
I like it.
I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying the smell. I would like a candle. That's for sure.
In terms of casks, I think they probably just used charred new oak like bourbons, because they do a lot of bourbons as well. So I would have thought they'd just use the same casks. Age statement, minimum 2 years is all they're saying.
Oh, mate, this is lovely. Have you had a sip?
I've not. Oh, dear.
Mate, the finish goes on for years.
It's on for days. The colour is so rich, isn't it? I don't think they use colouring. I very much doubt it.
I doubt it, yeah.
Absolutely do. There's a beautiful, deep colour. Oh, dear. Dear, oh, dear. So, yeah, double pot still.
It said something on the website, said something about being a Scottish still. Small double batch pot still distillation in a copper Scottish still. There you go. The website. Interesting.
Yeah, it continues. This is a very old world approach to making whiskey. It's less efficient, but as artisans, we are deeply inspired by the food and wine of Sonoma County, committed to the craft of bringing you wonderful whiskey, even if we're doing it the hard way. End quote.
Yeah, mate, I am getting the figs on the dried figs. Have you ever had figs wrapped in bacon and put in the oven? It's amazing. It
sounds amazing. I've seen it. I think I've seen it on the Instagram or something, you know what I mean?
So good. So good. And this reminds me a little bit of that.
Why they ever let two Englishmen have a whiskey podcast, I'll never know.
Let's look at the bottle, Dave. What's going on there? What information do we have? What's the top like?
Top's all right. I think can't make out if it's a synthetic cork or a really well molded cork. I think it's synthetic. It's got a kind of plasticky feel to it.
Okay.
Solid enough bottle, standard-ish shape, nice label. Information-wise, premium California whiskies. I would definitely say it's premium. 80% right. It's got all that information you said about the mash bill, where it's distilled. But classically, double pot distilled in Sonoma County. Stuff we've already said. Some tasting notes. It's got the lot number. It's got the bottle number.
Oh, sweet.
That's about it.
Nice. What bottle number?
Bottle number 280 of lot EP108
Oh, that's one of my favourite lots.
Good lot, that. It's a good lot.
That's your lot.
That's your lot.
Oh, dear. What else do they have to offer? They've got a Cherrywood Bourbon. They also have as well in this range. 67% corn, 20% rye, 13% Cherrywood smoked malted barley in that mash bill. Again, minimum of 2 years. So that would be a straight bourbon because it's over 2 years, and they've had to put 2 years on there because it's under 4 years. So, when did we talk about that? A couple of weeks ago, wasn't it?
A couple of weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, so there we go. That's why that's there. What else they got? They got a couple of other cores. Sonoma Rye, 46.5% ABV, 80% rye, 20% malted rye. So that's 100% rye. It only has to be, I think, 51.
51, yeah.
With other things. But yeah, it's 100%. Again, minimum 2 years. A Sonoma Bourbon, 46%, 70% corn, 25% wheat, and 5% malted barley. So that's a wheated bourbon, like Maker's Mark. Usually it's corn and rye is the kind of mash bill, which is quite popular, but they've decided to use wheat.
Mate, the one in the shop that I didn't see the price of it, but the one that originally drew me to buy in a bottle was the black truffle rye.
Yes, they got 2 limited releases.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one's a single barrel reserve, straight bourbon, which I'm guessing is just that's Sonoma Bourbon and single barrel, hence the name. Yes, as you said, black truffle rye, straight rye with genuine black truffle, Dave. 50%. You can buy this from the Whiskey Exchange. It's the only one they've got on there. Half bottle, £86.45.
Okay, well, that makes sense if you're using truffle, because truffle is not cheap, right? So
yeah, but where are they going to put it? In the mash bill?
I don't know.
Do they filter it through a filter of black truffle? How many pigs did they hire?
Well, I clicked on the link you gave me, and it says, this is the world's first black truffle rye whiskey. French black Périgord truffles are steeped in spicy rye whiskey to create a spirit with a rich and creamy texture and notes of dates, mushrooms, and honey. This will pair well with steak or blue cheese. That's what it says.
Wow.
Mate, I just wanted to go back to the fact that what we're drinking is this rye, Cherrywood Rye. You like ryes normally.
I do.
I am not drinking this thinking it's that different. I don't know, it's got more of a single malt vibe to it than what I would consider a rye. Are you getting that as well?
No. It doesn't have a single malt vibe for me. It definitely has a rye.
What characteristics should I be picking out of that make it rye?
It's got that...
Because in the past you said dill and things like that, haven't you?
Yeah, I am picking that up. I'm trying to pick up other things, but I am getting that rye, dill, pickly thing. But it's more subtle than other things, like with the whistle pig and all that. It's definitely got an American rye feel to it.
Okay.
And there's a cola thing going on there as well. But yeah, no, it is for me. It's very different, but I'm enjoying it.
I think it's amazing.
It's got a massive. It's a big punch in the face in terms of flavour, isn't it? It doesn't. Because I'm going. Whom, it's literally like a pow.
Yeah, there's a real sweetness to it as well, but not overly sweet, if that makes sense. And it just goes on forever, doesn't it? It really does go on forever. I just had another sip, and I was. I think it gets better with every sip.
It is nice. It does have that slight. I want to say ethanol-y fizz. Like it is quite a young whiskey. It does have that for me. Not that that's unpleasant, but you can kind of taste a bit younger than other things we've had. Again, doesn't matter. It's very, very nice. So you bought this?
I did, yes. Well, in fairness, I don't know, because I bought 2 bottles and I don't know. I didn't get a breakdown of how. I just picked them up. I didn't look at the price.
Oh, okay.
So I don't actually know how much this one was compared to the other one. If I'm brutally honest,
okay,
it was just a group purchase, and I wasn't unhappy with how much I paid for the 2 bottles. If that makes sense.
Yeah, you've got the receipt.
No, he offered it to me, and I didn't take it. I think.
Okay, wonderful.
But I just clicked on the link you gave me, and it's £46 on the Master of Malts. So there we go. Which I actually think is pretty reasonable for this, because it's different.
£46. Yeah, no,
it's different.
Right.
It's small batch. It's a small amount of it available. They do small runs.
Yeah,
it's imported from California. You know, there's
There's a lot
of reasons why actually this makes sense as a price. And in terms of adding it to your collection, this is something different about it. And I do think it's worth having for the sake of when people come round. This might be a flavour profile that some people would really like if they're not so keen on if someone says, oh, whiskey, it's all that smoky stuff. I think you could present this as another option of whiskey to them, which they might not expect in terms of a flavour profile. I'd be interested to make a few cocktails for this as well. I think it would actually be quite fun within certain cocktails. Like I think an old fashioned with this would be amazing.
I was just about to say that because it's got a massive punch flavour wise. Like there's a lot of flavour, and that would really crack through an old fashioned. Because
some bourbons, when you smell a bourbon or you taste a bourbon, you get that citrus vibe anyway. So you don't need, like, this doesn't have that. I'm not getting citrus with this. Are you getting citrus with this?
It's not smack me
really
in the face.
Exactly.
No.
So actually an old fashioned or a cocktail with a bit of citrus in it would be really interesting pairing with this, because I think actually it would bring out a lot more flavour bring out other flavours within this whiskey, or this whiskey would be enhanced by that experience. So yeah, I think for that price, it's pretty damn good. I think that price is really good.
Yeah, sweet. Should we do some scoring?
Let's.
You're listening to Whiskey and Things. These British people talk funny.
Well, this is the closest we've been, Nick, in our scorings. It's a good score. A combined score of 70%, which actually is the same as the Samuel Gelston's. However, our scores are closer. You went 71.43, I went 68.57. So I think we both have this as an amazing whiskey. I think that's what that tells me.
Yeah, the flavour, it passed my George Takei oh my test. But down further, there's another one we have, which was in the tingles section of our scoring. Did it give me the heebie-jeebies? It didn't give me the heebie-jeebies. I think because it's a young one, it's not as, again, this word's weird, smooth as some of the other ryes I've had. It's got a bit more of an ethanol kind of burn to it, again, which is nice. But I think that's why it didn't give me the heebie-jeebies. Didn't give me that, like, whistle pig heebie-jeebies, for example. But still nice. Still nice. But yeah, it's a high score. Good. It's a high score, 71.
Well, how does this compare price-wise to the whistle pig?
Whistle
cheaper,
pig,
isn't it?
Oh, it's much cheaper. Yeah, whistle pig.
Exactly.
You're talking. I mean, the cheapest one I found when I got it was like 65, 70, I think. So yeah, you're talking way up. So yeah, and that's 10 years old. I think it was. Had 10-year. Where are we? No, a 2-year, a 6-year, and a 10-year blend in that one. So there we go. So yeah, for a whiskey of 2 years, it's wonderful. I'm guessing that Californian climate does help with that.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what size casts they're using and stuff. There's so much colour and flavour to it. Like, you know, again, it's minimum 2 years. So could be anything, really. I think they're just whacking it in the bottle and it tastes good, which is fantastic as far as I'm concerned. So there we go. 70%. It's a good one. Where's that in the standings, Dave?
Well, it's tied second, mate.
Tied.
With Samuel Gelston's single pot still Irish whiskey matured in bourbon barrels. But as I say, the interesting thing is that we are actually closer together, though.
Right, yeah.
And actually, it's the closest we've been. We're only a couple of % away from each other, which is it's nice.
Oh, there we go. Well, because we spent some time together this week, Dave.
Maybe that's what it is, mate. Maybe that's what it is.
We bonded, got back to, the roots of our friendship, which was the Whiskey and Things YouTube channel. We sat on the sofa. We had a whiskey the other night.
We did. We're a different sofa, but it was in the same spiritual area.
It was.
With just less lights on.
Less headache.
Yeah, yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've got some any other business for you.
Hey, Dave, you got any other business?
I do. So somehow we've ended up on this thing called Feedspot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we're in the best 20 whiskey podcasts list. We're number 14.
14?
14, yeah.
Wow.
And in fairness, it says best 20, but they've only got 18 listed. So not sure what's happened there. I'm not sure how we've got on this. I think it's something to do with our friend Rish. Rish. The tagline, it says, the best whiskey podcast from thousands of podcasts on the web, ranked by traffic, social media followers, domain authority, and freshness. What the hell is domain authority?
What the hell is freshness?
I don't know. But maybe there's only actually 18 podcasts, so we are 14 out of 18. Because if they've gone through everything,
we're the 5th worst, whiskey podcast out there.
I'll take that. I would take that. At least we're not the worst. Which
some people call me a pessimist.
There you go.
Don't know why.
So
I'm just a realistic person.
At the bottom it says this: Feedspot has a team of over 50 experts whose goal is to discover and rank blogs, podcasts, and YouTube channels in several niche categories. Here we go. So this must be to do with Rish. Publishers submit their blogs or podcasts on Feedspot using a form at the top of this page. So if you have a whiskey podcast and it's better than ours, which probably is, make sure you go and
it's not hard.
Submit yours, because you could fill up one of the other 2 spaces and push us down a bit.
Yeah, push us down to 15. Yeah.
Our expert
16.
editorial team reviews and adds them to the relevant category list. We routinely remove inactive blogs, so we better stay active then, Nick. So it's re-ranked. Oh, it's re-ranked every few weeks, mate.
Mate, we can go off the table.
We got to keep working on this, mate. We got to make it better. We got this is finally giving me a reason. We've got a chart that we can climb. Oh, now I'm excited.
How do we do it? How do we do it?
I don't know.
Hey, listeners, tell your friends. Just stick on Spotify in the corner, not listening to stuff, while they're working.
Yeah.
And, get us up this chart. The Feedspot chart, the most prolific chart.
I think we need some more Twitter followers as well by the looks of it, and Facebook likes, because I think that's what they use as well. So,
okay.
If you've not followed us on Twitter or anything like that, then, no, they don't have, they do have Instagram on there, but not our Instagram. How weird. Anyway, other podcasts have their Instagram numbers, but we don't.
Oh, so. Okay.
Anyway, bit of fun.
There you go, everyone.
We're on the chart. Thanks, Rish.
Who else is on there? We know. Anyone else?
Whiskey Cask. You listen to that one, don't you? Cask.
Whiskey Cast.
Yeah. It's because the next one is Pod Cask. I was reading that. The Pod Cask.
We don't know what you're getting.
You don't. Do I know anyone else?
Is there anything on there that looks good? I don't know. I mean, I'm up for listening.
Number one. Let's do this, right? You can edit this out. Number one. Whiskey Cask. Number 2, The Podcast, a podcast about whiskey. Number 3, Whiskey Neat with Christopher Hart. Christopher with a K. Whiskey Wednesday podcast comes in at number 4. At 5, we have Whiskey Law. At 6, Whiskey Women. At 7, Whiskey Sessions. At 8, Whiskey Waffle from Tasmania. Nice. Number 9, The Bourbon Lens. Number 10, The Bourbon Road. Number 11, a theme is developing, Bourbon and Banter. Number 12, Cask Chasers Podcast. That's a mouthful. I'm glad I don't present that podcast. Number 13, Bourbon Bites Podcast. Number 14, something called Whiskey and Things. Number 15, the Whiskey Topic Podcast. Number 16, Whiskey Amateur Podcast. Number 17, BSEA Whiskey Underground Podcast. Don't know what BSEA stands for.
That's a mouthful.
Number 18, The Dead Men of Whiskey, a podcast about the remarkable lives and sometimes unusual deaths of the names we all know in whiskey. Now that one sounds like it should be number 1.
That sounds like the best one.
That sounds amazing.
You know what? Forget what we said earlier. Let's start a campaign to get that one up the charts.
Yes, mate. Let's do that. Or don't. Anyway, bit of fun, and I think that's a nice way to end the show. We're on a list.
Yes, we're the 14th.
We like a list.
Well,
also, if you're one of our Patreon subscribers, we know we haven't put much up there recently because we've just been doing the 2 of us. But we did record a couple of videos, which will be going up over the next few weeks. So you got that to look forward to as well. Exclusive content, Nick. What could they be getting?
What could they be getting? Yeah, it might be an episode of Cribs or something, Imagine that.
Could you imagine that if our Patreon exclusive was an episode of a TV show?
Well, I meant of us. I meant our Cribs, Dave. Yeah.
No, as in, like, we just upload a TV show, random, that we've got an exclusive episode of. That'd be something different, wouldn't it? Anyway.
It'd be terrible. Okay. But great. Anyway, let's get out of here. I've got to edit this show tonight. So let's do this. Right. I'm done. I'm done, Dave. I'm antsy. Right.
You've had your share.
I've had my share. I haven't finished it
So have I.
Yes. Thanks, listeners. Hope you've enjoyed it. We'll be back next week for 108. No, is this 108?
No,
this is 108.
This is 108.
Wow, we're really racking them up. 109.
Sweet.
I'll see you later, Dave. Love you.
Okay, bye. Bye.
Cheers. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Whiskey and Things has been brought to you by And Things.